Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I need your attention, please. Welcome to the channel. Obviously, if you can read and you're on this video, you would know the channel is named Gray Cloudy Day. If you're new here, then you would not necessarily know, but I'm going to introduce myself. I am Mr. Gray Cloud. Gray Cloud, the sage of the eternal moment. I did once have a title. It was Gray Cloud, gift giving scribe, but that changed last year. The Spirit moved and said, nah. Actually, I think it was in 2022, towards the end of 2022, that the Spirit laid on me and said, I want you to change the last part now to this. My friend Jordan was trying to tell me which side the like and all that would be on if I'm pointing. Well, I really don't remember. Like he said, if I was holding if I'm holding my coffee with my right hand, but see, on that video that we were talking about from, I think, yesterday, I was using the camera from where I could see what I'm doing. Right now, I'm using the front side of the phone so that it makes a little bit better quality video. But anyway, my point is, if you can and if you will, please hit the like button, please. Yeah, that sounds like I'm begging. I'm not really begging. I'm just trying to put it out there. I know most channels say that. Some say it at the beginning, some say it at the end, some say it at the beginning and the end. I just like to get it in there because, if you've watched any of my videos and you have not yet subscribed, I would like to ask that you consider subscribing. Of course, it is what it is. I appreciate each and every one of you people that subscribe and watch. Even people that don't subscribe. It's very humble. Like, I don't know. I never would have thought. Well, no, I knew the potential of where this can go and where it's still going. Trust me, we're gonna be building on some other platforms. I'm really starting to work on X a little bit more. Did a live stream on X platform the other day on Sunday, and it went pretty well. There was 4 people watching. Nobody chatted with me, but the live stream I did here on the channel yesterday didn't work out too well. I started it. Somebody was trying to come in and watch, and they kept cutting out. I don't know if their connection was bad or I'm doing something wrong on my end. So I stopped it, and I think about after 8 or 9 minutes, and then I started again a few minutes later on, and same deal. 5 different times it would pop in that one person was watching, and within about 5 or 10 seconds they would lose connection. But I just tried to keep going, trying to wait for people to show up. And I think I was just maybe impatient yesterday, because the only way that it's going to work is that I have to realize sometimes if I want to go live, there, especially if I'm not given enough notice ahead of time. I did announce that I was going to go live yesterday morning. The day before, I posted it in the community. I posted it on all my social medias, and I had a few people saying they were going to be there, but it's just like anything else. Like, I can't always be on point with all of my... There's so many different people I follow on all different platforms, but when it comes to YouTube, there's a lot of creators I really like, and I'm friends with some of them, like really good friends with some of them, maybe just online, but we're really good friends. We've exchanged stuff through the mail and all that. And I hate that I can't devote the time to watch every single person's channel all the time. Maybe I should narrow down my interests, but I go through phases, man. Sometimes I want to watch only videos about skateboarding for months at a time. Sometimes I only watch stuff about comic books for months at a time. Sometimes I only watch a bunch of toy related stuff. And then, sometimes I'm keeping up with some of the news. I don't know. I try not to keep up with the news, but you can't help but keep up with the news no matter how much you try to not keep up with it, unless you just don't have a phone at all and you don't get on any social media and you don't buy newspapers, which I don't. But I'm saying if you have a phone and you're on any platform, even if you're not trying to find the information, it's going to pop in front of your face. You're going to see headlines. You're going to see other people talking about it. I try to tune that kind of stuff out as much as possible. That's what God has me doing in my life. Because I tell you, it can only give you a headache, especially when it comes to things we can't do nothing about immediately right now with our, most of the things going on in the world are out of my reach. This is what I can do, is maybe offer some kind of sense of stability to somebody through maybe something that God has me share here, or, somebody comes in and watches a video and I'm sharing about something that's going on with me, and then they comment and they let, that happens, and that's what it's about for me, and it's always been that way. This video is going to be the beginning of 50 things that really matter. 50 things that really matter. I'm going to read the introduction and the first little story, which is wisdom. But, actually, I've went so long now into the video. I don't know how many minutes we are in right now. So I may not read the first story after the introduction. I might just do the introduction for you guys, and then maybe after I read that, do a little more reflection, and just make that the video. Actually, that's what we'll do. I'm going with what is flowing right now, and that's the Spirit. The Spirit's saying, it was a good idea before I started recording, but I've probably gone 5 minutes. We're probably 5 minutes into the video, if not more right now, because, like I said, I'm not using the camera where I see myself. I'm just sitting here looking at a phone, like if you were holding the phone up to me, So let's get this let's get the reading part out of the way. And, wherever you're at on social media, if you think my videos are helping you and you think somebody might appreciate it, like if they'll take the time to watch anything that is being put out there in the ether from this channel, please share it. Please try to share it with your friends if you think it's helpful to anybody. So we're going to read 50 things that really matter. I'm going to read the back of it real quick. Look, what really matters in your life? For many of us, life seems to be a constant scramble for more stuff, from fancier cars to the latest electronic gadgets, from fine clothes to extravagant vacations. And if we fall short in our pursuit, we will feel left out or depressed. Yeah, I think that's hits a nail on the head, don't it? But are these the things that really matter in life? Hardly. What's really important are some of the simplest gestures, events, and values, like a hug and a sunrise, courage and kindness, afternoon naps and hot summer nights. The first-person stories in this book celebrate simple pleasures like these, and they show how focusing on these little things can help you overcome hardship and find great value in your life. Read these words and you'll be encouraged, enlightened, and rich from head to soul. Okay, inspiring, thoughtful stories to guide your life. So now we're going to go into the introduction. I read the introduction last night before I moved into my room. This morning I read the first story, which will be wisdom to myself. But like I said, the plan has changed from the time that I hit record to now. I was going to do the introduction and wisdom, but I want to make this video, like I said, I don't know exactly how many minutes we're in right now, but I want to read I've been instructed just in the few minutes that we've been sitting here, just do the introduction, and then if I have more words to say afterwards, say them, and then that'll be this video, okay? Introduction, defining what really matters. Big homes, luxury cars, diamond bracelets, digital TVs, exotic vacations, extravagant trips to the spa. These days we're surrounded by such symbols of wealth. And if we aren't among the lucky few to enjoy these prizes, we feel left out, stressed, perhaps even unworthy or depressed. Why? These aren't the things that really matter in life, not by a long shot. What matters most are the simple pleasures so abundant that we all can enjoy them. The plain values that define us as good people, the emotional connections with friends and family that fill our souls with a sense of purpose. Yeah, like connecting to you guys, man. That, to me, it does help me in my life, and that's why I continue to do it. But I see that it's helping some people out there, and that's also why I continue to do it. And I continue to do it because it's been a long time coming and a part of a plan that God has had me going towards for all of my life. Let's get back to this. This book celebrates 50 of the simple things that really do matter in life. Within these pages are first-person stories about the value of conversing over a good cup of coffee, the importance of hugs, the courage in living a simple life, the wisdom in a street musician's words, the peace and relaxation in watching a candle flame. May these stories encourage you, enlighten you, and enrich your soul. But most of all, may they inspire you to see the real value in life. After all, happiness doesn't lie in the objects we gather around us. It lies within us. To find it, all we need do is open our eyes. Not just these eyes, guys. We have to open the spiritual eye. That's the eyes that I'm more concerned about nowadays in my life. You know, am I seeing the biggest part? Like, am I seeing the big picture? Yes, I am. And many years ago, it came to me like a ton of bricks, but I remember it being shown. There's been a plan in the works since I was in my early 20s. When I think I was probably 21, maybe 22, to write a book called The Real Truth About the Big Picture. And I had no clue about where to start with it. And I remember asking my friend Ann White, who was a really good friend. She was my best friend in high school. Like, we didn't go to the same school. She went to a private school up on the mountain, but her father was an English teacher, and he was a fascinating man. And I remember asking him one time, like, we had like some really good. Actually, what it was she wasn't around, and like, I went and stopped by their old house. I hadn't seen her in years to find out about her. And her dad was there and invited me in, and we sat and talked for a while. And he, I gave him my number, and he passed on information to his daughter for me. And we sat and talked, and then I told him about my idea for a title for a book I wanted to do. And I said, I want to try to figure out how to write a book and not call it The Real Truth About the Big Picture. And he was like blown away by the title alone. He said he thought I had something there, that was definitely needed to be out there. And even though we weren't discussing details of what I was talking about or what might have been going on in my head, it like struck a nerve with him, and that stuck with me. And here I am at 50 years old and still haven't written it. Now, I did begin the introduction many years ago. And, so there's that part of me that needs to be delving into that and trying to explore that. This is all kind of coming about in the moment right now. The Spirit's kind of like bringing this back to me. You don't have to believe that that's what's going on with me. You can believe that I'm just using my own brain thoughts and whatever. But I'm telling you, this is something that I had no plan to even talk about, and it's all just coming to me. And I am not on any drugs other than a little bit of caffeine. I did put a little, it's a supplement. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's a supplement. It's a natural occurring thing that does occur in our body, but it's a supplement you can buy, and if you take it, it helps to boost a little bit of energy, and it helps with focus and motivation. It starts with a P. I think for short they call it PEA or something. This is the first time I ever tried it out this month. Like I found like where I could get it. You know, like I got like 30 capsules for like $6 and something. And I was like, well, I'll see. Because I've done some reading about it and research, and I'm learning about it. And there's a couple other like supplements, like, you know, neurotropics that I'm trying to explore. And like I'm also been using lion's mane for a little while. I just used the last of my lion's mane powder. But let's not get, I don't know why I went into all that. But the point is, just to say that, okay, caffeine and phenyl PEA or whatever, I'm just a little bit into my coffee, and it kind of boosts the coffee. It's not like I'm doing, it's not like it's speed or anything. Like, it is related to speed, which is weird, because it's a natural occurrence. It's just weird to read about this stuff because it's not harmful. And, now, of course, anything can be harmful if you was to do too much of it. But let's circle back now, and I want to say, yeah. So there's two different things I've got to be starting to look at, maybe getting back into the whole writing thing. Now, I'm doing a lot of transcribing of my loose writings that are just creative, like kind of stream of consciousness stuff into my notebook and everything. And that's really helping me influence me to want to write more as I am reading and going through all these old writings. And when I'm transcribing them, I'm able to like edit it to, you know, like I used to be real bad about it. I would never rewrite anything. I wrote it once and that was it. It was strictly the way it came out. That's all. I've learned over the years that you can't, you get the thought down, and then over a period of time, if it seems to be just fine the way it is, you leave it. But if you're able to go back and have an objective look at it, you can see where there could be improvements, and lines can be taken out and words could be replaced. So that's, you know, that's a good thing that I have learned that. But, you know, the other thing that I have to get on about writing, I would love to at least begin the real truth about the big picture, but also that story it's set probably about 50-something to 60-something years from this year. And so it's in kind of a post-apocalyptic world. And it is about a boy that will be born into the world. And his parents are told, to name him Hero. And so you got a boy that comes into the world named Hero. And the reason is because he's going to be a hero to humanity at some point in his life. But about 5 years old, he gets to pick out a dog from a neighbor where they live. In the story, people live way, miles apart from each other. So they make a journey to one of their nearest neighbors that help each other out. And that's where he picks a boy dog out of the litter, and he decides to name the dog Dog. And at some point in the story, you'll find out that Dog happens to be his great-great-grandfather or something like that come back, because there's a lot of mess going on in the world and certain things had happened. So you have a story that's going to be an epic story to follow a person from the time they're born all the way up. It'll start before they're born, leading up to them being born, going into their whole life with the dog and everything. And I'm glad to have shared that because it's been on my brain lately. I've got all my notes that I have been world building a few years ago. Got a lot of information trying to build on the world before I even really got started on the story. So hopefully here soon I'll be getting back into that. I'm trying to get a structure going here. And I enjoyed having a live stream going on Saturday on the channel here, and then on Sunday on X. So I'm trying to gather when I'll do another live stream, and I need to do it. I can guarantee you I'm going to do a live stream that's coming up Saturday. So I need to try to figure out I don't know how I make a thumbnail and put it up there and then announce it and people can know. I'm still, like, even though however many years I've been using YouTube, I'm still kind of ignorant to some of the ways people make better videos and use YouTube as far as a creator goes. But hey, that's the fun of it. I'm learning as I go. So you guys have a good day. I'm going to get off here, man. I've rambled on, and I hope that you will come back again once we start. I don't know exactly. Since it's been raining today, I may have if I don't get to go do that side job today and make a little cash, maybe it'll be nice enough for me to go do it tomorrow. It's a friend that I'm getting to know from church and stuff, and he's a good old guy. And, yesterday was the first time we really were together outside of just talking briefly at church, or when he'd see me walking my dog and he'd stop and talk to me. So basically, we're going to see how that goes. So, like, if what I'm saying is there's no reason we're going to just stick. I started it. I'll at least read more of this book from now till Friday. I might not do any more over the weekend, just like I was doing with the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and then we'll pick it back up next Monday. But I'm going to end it here. Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.